In family sponsorship, the permanent resident of Canada or the Canadian citizen sponsors the member of the family class so that he or she can become a permanent resident of Canada. Recently, I made a video where we tried to understand who are the people that are eligible to become the members of the family class. If you haven't seen that video, please check it out. I've put the link of the video in the description box. And before we proceed with the definitions of spouse, common law, and conjugal partner, and try to understand the basic background of these relationships from an immigration perspective, let us quickly touch base with these two terms. The first one is sponsor and second one is principal applicant. Now, sponsor is the person who is going to sponsor the member of the family. In this case, let's say if a permanent resident of Canada or a Canadian citizen is going to sponsor his spouse, then he becomes the sponsor. And the spouse becomes the principal applicant. So the spouse is the principal applicant because he or she is applying to become a permanent resident of Canada with the help of the sponsor. So hope you got the difference between these two terms, the sponsor and the principal applicant. Now when it comes to spouse, it's pretty obvious that both the individuals are supposed to be married to each other and the marriage is legal both in the home country or in the country in which they got married as well as in Canada. Also, they need to have a marriage certificate. When it comes to common law, there is no marriage involved here, but both the individuals should be able to prove that they are living together for at least 1 year and a serious committed relationship is involved here. Another term for living together is cohabitation. Now you will find this word cohabitation a lot of times when you stream across the immigration websites. So they should be cohabiting with each other for at least a period of 1 year to prove that there is a common law relationship. Okay. Now moving to conjugal partner. Over here, the individuals cannot get married and at the same time they cannot live together for a period of 1 year, at least 1 year. But yet there is a serious relationship that exists. Now that relationship has to exist for at least 1 year. However, there are some conditions if someone plans to sponsor his or her partner under conjugal relationship. So first of all, let us try to understand the definition, the exact definition of a conjugal relationship in the immigration regulation. It says, for the purposes of the Act and these regulations, an individual who has been in a conjugal relationship with a person for at least 1 year but is unable to cohabit with the person due to persecution or any form of penal control shall be considered a common law partner of the person. So let us try to understand what this means. Over here we are considering a fictitious country named Kasnia, and this girl lives in Kasnia and she is in a serious committed relationship with a Canadian citizen. Now the conditions in Kasnia are such that if this girl discloses her relationship or gets married to this guy who is a Canadian citizen, she might face a lot of problems from the society. It is possible that as soon as she discloses this relationship, she might face serious hardships, she might lose her job, she might lose her shelter, like the place where she's living in inside this country in Kasnia, and at the same time she might be punished for having such kind of relationship. So in that case, there is a provision in the immigration regulations where you can sponsor a person as a conjugal partner because there is a serious problem with both of them disclosing their relationship or getting married to each other. Now, immigration department also checks if there is any immigration barrier to this relationship. So what does that mean exactly? Again, let us assume that in this example, the Canadian citizen is able to visit this country, this fictitious country called Kasnia, but he cannot stay in Kasnia for more than 3 months. So that means that he cannot stay in this country, in this fictitious country, for long term, and as a result, they cannot even cohabit or live with each other for a period of at least 1 year. So there is a relationship, but they cannot get married, and at the same time, they cannot even live with each other. So that is where the conjugal relationship comes into picture. Now again, it is also applicable for homosexual relationships. If I again consider this country, this fictitious country, Kasnia, where same-sex marriage is illegal, then even in that case, it is considered as a serious challenge to the relationship, and it can be considered as a conjugal relationship for same-sex partners. So if you were thinking that, okay, I'm a permanent resident of Canada and I'm in this relationship with this girl who is in some other country, and our relationship is complicated, and you're thinking, well, she loves me not, she loves me not. So in that case, if you're wondering that, hey, I can sponsor her under the conjugal relationship criteria, then no, this is not for you. Okay? So I hope you got a gist of what this means. Now, the reason I expanded a bit on conjugal relationship in this video is there might be individuals who seriously want to be with each other, because it is important to prove a serious, committed, permanent relationship to the immigration. So there might be individuals who want to be together, but they might be thinking that only because they cannot get married or they cannot live with each other for a period of 1 year, they have no future. Then that is not the case. So there is one option here. This is an exception given to you. Now, one more thing. If someone thinks that just by proving to immigration that a sexual relationship exists between two individuals, then that would be accepted as some sort of committed or deep-rooted relationship, then you're wrong. In order to prove to the immigration department that a long-term serious relationship exists between two individuals, you have to provide a lot of evidence. A lot of supporting documents are expected in sponsorship applications. If there is interest from your side, please do mention in the comment section, and I will make a video on that as well. But as of now, I just wanted to focus on these 3 types of relationships. And before I end the video, one more important thing. If any of these individuals, okay, is legally married to someone else, then you have to make sure that they have left that legal partner. The divorce, the separation has taken place, and only then you can think of sponsoring a different partner. Now, again, there are few other things like sponsorship undertaking, sponsorship bar, which I would explore in some other videos, but just trying to let you know that if the person is in a different relationship already, then that relationship has to end so that he can think of all these options. Okay? See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.